everyone. My name is David An from Medgar Evers College. The topic I'm going to present today is COVID-19 implication on higher education, a case study of Medgar Evers College. In particular, we'll describe how Computer Information Systems Department, or I'm going to call CIS, has maintained academic continuity during the COVID-19 pandemic lockdown by establishing and executing emergency academic continuity process, or I'm going to call it EACP. In our industry, we use a lot of acronyms. So throughout the presentation, I'm going to use two acronyms, which is CIS and EACP. The COVID-19 pandemic lockdown was sudden and abruptly happened in the middle of the spring semester in 2020. So semester already started, and we were challenged to convert all face-to-face class to online class virtually overnight to maintain the academic continuity. With the guidance provided by our University Central Office, Office of Academic Affairs, and under the leadership of our Dean Roll, we established EACP and executed it successfully to complete the first pandemic lockdown semester. Since then, it's been a year past, and we have some of the data to analyze and show what was the COVID-19 lockdown implication on our business, including enrollment, financial health, online instruction effectiveness, and some of the behavioral changes of students that we found. After we analyzing this data, we are going to benchmarking them to other research findings. So what is EACP? And that full expansion is right there. It's a type of business continuity plan, like a disaster recovery plan. The main difference is that those BCP or disaster recovery plan assumes an unexpected event like a fire, earthquake, flood that might occur in a limited area for an expected duration of time. However, the COVID-19 lockdown was a global event without knowing when it's going to end. So the process has to be agile and flexible enough with a clear goals and objectives to achieve. In our case, our goal is to maintain academic continuity while assessing any risks that might arise during the lockdown. For example, we had two accounting professors passed away due to the COVID-19, and we have to have some kind of backup plan in case any faculty or students suffering from COVID-19. And this process was able to find the backup and continue on with the classes. So here is the EACP diagram. So idea is we first establish key components of what's going to happen. For example, we set objectives and key elements of this process. We also design identifying risk. And then also we design the flexible enough as we go risk assessment and response module. And then we constantly monitored and control the EACP. First task was to ensuring and also selecting standardized key platform for distance education. We used the Blackboard already, so we chose that to make the conversion to be smooth and seamless. And also we provide the faculty training and certify them before launching the online education. Then this is the key components. This is where we distribute the weekly report, assessment report template to all faculties. And then we collect those reports from the faculty weekly basis, and our secretary compiled them and present that compiled weekly report to department chair to evaluate. Department chair, in return, identify any new risk that might arise and responded in timely manner. Then we constantly monitor and control, and if not controlled, then we go back to this process and repeat. Otherwise, we just move on. And at the end of the semester, we collected the outcome and assessed all the data and evaluated it. And then had a documentation on, and also enhanced the EACP to plan future semesters. And this is a sample of what we did to our faculty. We tried to design the template simple enough so they're already stressed with conversion, and we do not want to overwhelm them by requiring them weekly report. So we made a template very simple enough, but thorough enough that department chair can see how they run the classes weekly basis, what kind of problem they faced, and all that can be compiled weekly basis. So it was working, and we complete the semester without much trouble. Next, we will present COVID-19 implication on our business and what we learned from them so far. First, we look at the impact on enrollment. Studies show that fall 2020 enrollment declined twice as much as compared to a pre-pandemic year, about 2.5% nationwide in United States. They also reported that enrollment declined in community college or institutions serving minority students, and students from low-income background were the hardest hit. The enrollment decline was about 13.1% in average nationwide. Such a substantial down enrollment, in addition to lost revenue due to campus lockdown, research warned that higher education institutions would have a serious challenges in cash flow, and some of them would have to either merge or close. Medgar Evers College, for instance, is a predominantly Black institution within City University of New York, and we are located in one of the economically disadvantaged area in central Brooklyn, New York City. So we are interested in analyzing the COVID-19 impact on our college during the lockdown. We analyze enrollment studies at various levels of our institution, first at university level. Then we go down to college level, program level, and course level. And this data is provided by our university central office. And this shows all of our campus enrollment status between and comparison between spring 2020 semester and spring 2021 semester. As you all know, at the beginning of spring 2020, there was no COVID lockdown. So this is pre-pandemic enrollment. Whereas spring 2021 is in the middle of the lockdown, so we can really compare what was the impact of COVID-19 on enrollment. University total is shown on the bottom, and if you compute, university-wide decline was about 9%. Now, if you look at the Medgar Evers College, which is highlighted over here, our college enrollment dropped almost 27.4%. And it's not only Medgar Evers College, but any campus located in economically disadvantaged area of the New York City, they experience substantial decline in enrollment. And if you look at all our community college, they have a similar decline in enrollment, which is substantial because Medgar College alone, that 27.4% decline means about 4.4 annual revenue loss. And we are not that big school compared to other campuses. And that $4.4 million lost revenue estimated is a serious issue. Now we are going to look at the lockdown impact on program level. And since I'm in CIS department, I was able to access CIS enrollment data, and I plotted those data before the pandemic and during the pandemic. And as you can see, by the way, this orange color is representing bachelor degree program enrollment, and blue is representing associate degree program enrollment. If you look at the number, the bachelor degree enrollment has dropped 17.6%, whereas the associate degree enrollment dropped about 25.6%. We also interested in course level enrollment trend because the CS 101 computer fundamentals are all required for School of Business students, as well as CIS 211, which teaches web page design. And as you can see, the CIS 101 enrollment declined almost over 25%, whereas CIS 211 enrollment decline was not that severe and steady constantly. What does this tell us? Well, CIS 101 is a freshman year course, and this is a sophomore year course. So what this trend shows is that we experienced a lot of drop in or decline in new student enrollment, but the continuing student enrollment was not severely affected by COVID-19. And that 25% decline in new students or the freshman year course matches basically college-wide enrollment decline. So we see that freshman year, when new students enrollment was severely affected by COVID-19 lockdown, and we need to do something very quickly. We benchmarked this enrollment decline with national data provided by National Student Clearinghouse Research Center. And as I mentioned to you before, the national average decline is about 13.1%, whereas Medgar Evers College decline is 27.4%, almost twice as big. The CIS 211 spring semester enrollment increased a little bit, and I'm going to explain to you why that happened.
Dr. On, 1 minute left.
Yeah, next thing that we like to know is the effectiveness of online instruction. And we analyzed the grade distribution between these two courses. And in the beginning of the pandemic semester, there's a grade inflation. And usually grade inflation retains students. So after that spring semester, everything kind of go back to normal. So I think online instruction for freshman year course was effective. Whereas we have some concerns about sophomore course. You know, the grade was lower than pre-pandemic, and also there was substantial increase in withdrawal rate. And I think this withdrawal rate contributed to increase in enrollment in that course because some of students withdrew from the class, has to retake it. We also interested in learning about student learning behavior. And what we did is we offered both face-to-face class and online section for these two classes. And at the end of the spring semester, we collected the pre-registration data, and we found something very interesting. After 3 semesters long of the online learning, students now preferring taking online sections over face-to-face classes. As you can see, all online sections are either full or very close to full, whereas face-to-face sections are poor in registration. Highest was only 30%. So what did we learn in conclusion? COVID-19 pandemic lockdown impact was on academic continuity was maintained okay by us through that EACP. And it impacted minimally because Medgar Evers College already had learning management system in place, which is Blackboard, and other technological infrastructure provided by CUNY. But those higher education institutions do not have these systems in place before the pandemic. I feel that they are going to face disaster because without technological platform, the online conversion would have been very challenging. And we believe that technology will play a more critical role in the higher education in the future. The impact on enrollment and cash flow, it was substantial. Our enrollment decline was over 27%, and that resulted in grave financial consequence of 4.4 million revenue loss. And more problem is that the new students enrollment decline bigger than continuing students. Why is it a problem? Because it will challenge future course scheduling. If we don't have enough students, we cannot run the course due to the financial sustainability. So this is going to be a big problem for the next couple of years. Continuous enrollment decline would question the college's financial sustainability. And we need to understand why those students are not enrolled into the classes, or especially those new students. That survey or research needs to be further studied. COVID-19 impact on students' learning behavior. We found this is very interesting. Now they prefer flexible, convenient instruction modality, online classes over face-to-face. And also, they are using smartphones to access online a lot. Contrary to what one of my colleagues said, smartphone today is very powerful, have a high resolution, and it provides the mobility. So our conclusion is that students want to have a mobility and flexibility, and they want to access course material anytime when they want. And this is going to be another threat to higher education institution, because unless they design something that satisfies students, it will cause more enrollment to decline, and it will challenge their financials. And I'm sure there are some new entrants who wants to tap into the education market will come up with a technological solution using advanced technology such as AI, and they can provide anytime access at cheaper price with a customized solutions. That will be a threat. So it's challenging for higher education institutions like Medgar Evers College, but it's not all bad, because when we understand our weakness and problem, it gives also an opportunity to rethink strategy and redesign our business model to thrive best. Our college have a new leadership joined us in May, and hopefully we can come up with a good strategy and better business model to serve our students best. Thank you.